Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways to be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those who need instant gratification. The show's Twitter feed is @SKiMPod, SKiMPod.
Stays Crunchy.
If you want to hear yourself on the show, why not leave us a voicemail? 216-302-8763. That's 216-302-8POD.
Stays
For the
Crunchy.
more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K. We're available via Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Spotify, and of course at the website stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever you can.
Stays Crunchy.
And if the pockets is feeling extra chunky, you can put in on this and support our Patreon. It's available at patreon.com/stayscrunchyandmilk. And if you donate at the $5 or higher level, you get an entire extra show each month with even more content coming soon.
Stays Crunchy.
Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, The Real ODP, and I'm your host, the Internet's Tayrail713. You heard of the raps before, but kept waiting for the son of song. I keep dance all strong. Beats never worthy of my cause I prolong. Extravaganza, time sit still. No propaganda, be worried of the skill. As I bring forth the music, make love to your eardrums. Dedicated to rap nigga, beware of the fearsome. Lebanon Don, Malcolm X beat threat.
CD
Massacre. Murder to cassette. I blow the shop up, you ain't seen nothing yet. One man ran trying to get away from it. Put your bifocal on, watch me a cometh. Into your chamber like Freddy into dreams. Discombobulate your technique and your scheme. 4-course applause like a black dat to that. You're stuck on stupid like you're stuck on the map. Nowhere to go except next show, bro. Entertaining motherfuckers can't stop in battling. You don't want me to start tattling. All up on the stage cause y'all snakes keep rattling. Bitch, you ain't got nothing on the rich. Every other day my whole dress code switch. So just in case you want to clock me like Sherry, all y'all crap niggas ain't got to worry. Can't get a nigga like Dime a dozen. Even if I'm smoked out, I can't be scoped out. I'm too ill. I represent Park Hill. See my face on a $20 bill. Cash it in and get $10 back. The fat LP with cappuccino on the wax. Pass it in your thing, put your valve up to 12. Put all the other LPs back on the shelf and smoke a blunt and dial 917-16049-311. And you can get long dick hip hop perfection. I manage any MC who steps in my direction. I'm Staten Island's best son, fuck what you heard. Niggas still talking that shit is absurd. My repertoire is USSR. PLO style got thrown out the car and ran over by the Method Man Jeep. Divine can't define my style is so deep like pussy. My low cut face stay bushy like a porcupine. I part backs like a spine. Gut you like a blunt and reconstruct your design. I know you want to diss you, but you can't read your mind cause you're weak in the knees like SWV. Trying to get a title like Woo Killer Bees. Kid, change your habit. You know I'm friends with the Abbott. Me and RZA rhyme name printed in the tablet. Under vets, we paid our debts for mad years. Hibernate the sound and now we out like Biz. In born power, born physically power speaking. The truth in the song be the pro-black teaching. Hello and welcome to
Will survive. Oh, you know now.
Stays Crunchy and Milk. It's episode 372. A delight. This is our pre-election show. By the time you hear this, we'll know who won the election. And there you go. I'll not pull a Weiger and claim anybody's gonna win anything. But who knows? We'll see how it all goes down when it goes down. I'm joined by the man of 1,000 nicknames, the artist formerly known as Chesterfield Rockwell. It's the 216's own Tatum.
The man who, when he goes for a ride in his car, is disappointed by every sign he sees.
That's a sad state of affairs, sir.
Yeah.
We're also joined by the Cleveland Browns' good luck charm. It's my man Lunchbox.
Browns maybe, but Odell Beckham Jr. no.
I can only speak for the organization as a whole.
I'm sure he's shitting on somebody's stomach or vice versa right now.
Did he like to get shit on or does he like to shit on?
I think he likes to get shit. I
think he's a receiver.
Yeah.
All right.
Instead of a wide receiver, kind of a, A tubular?
The suburban Puerto Rican can't be with us this week. Send us some love. Cause why not? It's cause I asked you to. But we gon' hit the motherfucking ground rolling. My theory, my goal, to not be doing this at midnight. So let's see if we can get that in.
Maybe we can just end it now. You all got a show. Know you enjoyed it.
You got to give them at least 7 minutes. After 7 minutes, you can be like, I tried at least. I gave you 7.
In my neck of the woods, in the great state of Ohio, in particular the county of Cuyahoga just avoids going on high-level purple coronavirus alert among a record 43 alert counties in Ohio. For the math, there are 88 counties total in the great state of Ohio. 43 of them being red is a problem. Cleveland, Ohio, Cuyahoga, and 2 other counties that had been in danger of becoming the state's first to be put on the highest level of purple alert for coronavirus concerns will remain a step lower at red this week, Governor Mike DeWine announced Thursday. This means that even if the situation worsens, the earliest possible dates that Cuyahoga, Clark, and Hamilton counties could possibly be put on purple would be in 2 weeks on November 12th. To move to level 4 purple, counties must, for 2 consecutive weeks, meet at least 6 of the 7 warning criteria tracked by the Ohio Department of Health, DeWine has explained. Cuyahoga, Clark, and Hamilton were on the watch for possibly going to purple because they met 6 criteria last week, but each dropped to 5 or below warning criteria on Thursday. Cuyahoga County is at 4. Several school districts had announced plans to switch to remote-only learning if Cuyahoga was upgraded Thursday to purple. Purple Alert does not specifically order for the schools closed, as DeWine has chosen to leave that decision up to individual districts. But Purple carries the recommendation from the state to only leave home for supplies and services. A record 43 Ohio counties, accounting for 78% of the state's population, are now on red alert, which comes with the warning to limit activities as much as possible. And every Ohio county was flagged as having at least 50 new cases per 100,000 over the last 2 weeks. The list of red counties has grown with the October spike in both cases and hospitalizations across Ohio. The number of red alert counties has increased in consecutive weeks from 9 to 11 to 18 to 29 to 38 and finally 43 this week. In Northeast Ohio, Ashland and Medina are the only orange counties. Red are Ashtabula, Cuyahoga, Geauga, Lake, Lorain, Mahoning, Portage, Stark, Summit, Trumbull, and Wayne. Ohio set a record with 3,590 new cases reported Thursday. On 7 of the 11 days from October 14th through Saturday, Ohio set single-day records for newly reported cases, peaking at 2,858 on Saturday. Thursday's total of 3,590 new cases marks the 14th time Ohio has reported at least 2,000 cases in a day, all since mid-October. The state has not been able to identify sources of the widespread increase, announcing this week that it would change contact tracing going forward to better account for how people think they may have contracted the disease. DeWine has instead provided specific examples of some areas of spread, often noting that social gatherings are of special concern. I'm not going to go. It's a whole lot more there, but the reality of it is this. Restaurants and bars are still open, and people go to restaurants and bars because they think shit is sweet. I had to go to a restaurant. Had to? Actually, I'm going to say in one case, in the case of Louisville in the evening, I had to go to a restaurant to eat because everything in that town was closed. So we had to eat at the hotel restaurant. So indeed, I did have to go to a restaurant in that case. But I don't have to do much of anything else after that. And in fact, I don't think we did not go. We ate breakfast that next morning a little bit, but did not go to any other. We didn't go kicking anywhere else after that. Stay your ass home. Every time I drive, because my town is full of bars, just chock full of bars and churches, because that's just what it is to live in the northeast of or whatever, the Midwest, I guess, the beginning of the Midwest. And I drive by, it's always just, I'm not going to say jam-packed, but pretty full of people just kicking it. I'm trying to get my drink on, and I'm just like, bruh, really? You putting it on the line for that? And so it is, I would not doubt if through contact tracing they would be able to cite, okay, this bar, this whatever, this that, and what you supposed to do, man? I mean, what can you do besides, you can do what you're supposed to do, but what can I do? Not much. I can just bitch, but I just did that, so we'll move on from that particular situation. These next two stories kind of go hand in hand, so I'm gonna give you the one first, and I'm gonna bounce back to the other one. First, guilty pleas and Householder probe lack cooperation agreements with prosecutors. So y'all remember me talking about Larry Householder, who was the state Ohio State House speaker. No, he was the leader of the Senate or whatever, Speaker of the House, who got caught up in some bullshit with First Energy, which is our power company around this part. Everybody actually got First Energy. First Energy takes care of, again, most of the northeastern United States, big chunk of it. Con Ed and all these other power companies are all come underneath that First Energy banner. And basically, they did some dirt on a House bill, and they ended up getting First Energy like a lot of money for bailouts of a couple of nuclear plants here in the region.
Nuclear.
And two of the people involved in that, if y'all remember back to when we talked about this first time, today pled guilty. Jeffrey Longstreth and Juan Cespedes both pled guilty.
A lot of Jeffrey's getting in trouble these days.
And what that means is, look, if they have pled guilty and cut a deal, they probably are going to start, whistling. So now we bounce back to the other story. First Energy today fired CEO Chuck Jones for violating company policy and code of ethics. S2 plead guilty in the HB6 case. So what it is this big company just fired its CEO today because they know what soon come, and that's going to be that First Energy hustled behind the scenes to get Ohio to say, fuck it, we'll pay for your goddamn busted ass nuclear plants. And that is going to make some waves in just the general energy situation, you know what I'm saying, I guess business of this country, because that's a big deal when you fire the CEO of a corporation of that size. So Ohio, the heart of it all.
Is that still our
I'm just saying we the source of some real bullshit at this point. So
I thought that used to be like our Marseille.
It was, and I don't know if it still is, but I just had to laugh at that shit. Turkey to go orders. Yes, quite. I guess people got at this point are like, fuck Thanksgiving because niggas don't want to get that Rona. I already do Thanksgiving just with my little nuclear family here, so I don't go out for that one anyway. But hey, we shall see. Take some order. This one literally just popped up it didn't just pop up. It just popped up for me as I was preparing the show here a little bit ago. Arizona Coyotes renounce rights to draft pick Mitchell Miller after history of assault and racism surface. The Arizona Coyotes, which is their Arizona's National Hockey League team, their NHL team, are renouncing the rights to draft pick Mitchell Miller after his history of assault and racism as a juvenile were spotlighted in a newspaper investigation. Miller, an 18-year-old defenseman committed to play at the University of North Dakota next season, was selected in the 4th round of the 2020 NHL Draft, 111th overall, by the Coyotes on October 26th. The Arizona Republic published an extensive expose of Miller's bullying of Isaiah Myers Crothers, a black classmate with developmental disabilities in Sylvania, Ohio. Again, Ohio.
The heart of it all.
In junior high, I got beat up by him. Everyone thinks he's so cool and he gets to go to the NHL, but I don't see how someone can be cool when you pick on someone and bully someone your entire life, Myers Crothers told the paper. The Coyotes initially stood by the pick, with President and CEO Xavier Gutierrez saying the team felt a responsibility to be part of the solution for Miller. We believe that we are in the best position to guide Mitchell, I guess, is his name Mitchell Miller? Mitchell Miller, to becoming a leader for this cause and preventing bullying and racism now and in the future, he said. On Thursday, Gutierrez announced the team was renouncing its rights to Miller, making him a free agent. Prior to selecting Mitchell in the NHL draft, we were aware that a bullying incident took place in 2016. We do not condone that type of behavior, but embrace that it's a teachable moment to work with Mitchell to make him accountable for his actions and provide him with an opportunity to be a leader on anti-bullying and anti-racism efforts, said Gutierrez, who is a member of the EHL's Executive Inclusion Council, which takes action on recommendations regarding racism and diversity issues in the sport. We have learned more about this entire matter and, more importantly, the impact it has had on Isaiah and the Myers-Crothers family. And what we learned does not align with the core values and vision of our organization and led to our decision to renounce our draft rights, said Gutierrez, who apologized to the Myers-Crothers and his family. Miller admitted to the assault and bullying in an Ohio juvenile court 4 years ago. He used racial slurs against Myers-Crothers, physically assaulted him, and at one point tricked him into licking a candy push pop that Miller and another boy had wiped in a bathroom urinal, according to a police report. According to the Toledo Blade in March 2016, Miller and another student were found delinquent on counts of assault in violation of the Ohio Safe Schools Act. Miller was suspended from Sylvania schools, and after meeting with the court psychologist, the other 8th grader apologized, but Myers-Crothers said Miller never did. Miller, who sent letters to all 31 NHL teams prior to the draft to explain the situation, also did not apologize directly to Myers-Crothers in a statement released by the Coyotes after the Arizona Republic story was published. I am extremely sorry about the bullying incident that occurred in 2016 while I was in the 8th grade. I was young, immature, and feel terrible about my actions, he said. Coyotes general manager Bill Armstrong, who was prohibited from working the draft after leaving the St. Louis Blues for the Arizona job in September, said he fully supports the teams renouncing Miller's rights. It was a unique situation for me not to be able to participate in this year's draft, and we were going through a transition with our scouting department. Mitchell's a good hockey player, but we need to do the right thing as an organization and not just a hockey team. I'd like to apologize to Isaiah and the Myers-Crothers family for everything they have dealt with in the past few months, and I wish them all the best in the future, he said. Miller had previously committed to North Dakota, which had said when the Republic story came out and before the Coyotes renounced their rights that he remained a part of their program. We were aware of the unfortunate incident that occurred with Mitchell in 8th grade. We made the decision that our program could provide him the necessary infrastructure and culture to hone not only his hockey abilities, but most importantly, assist him in continuing growth as a human being, which will last him the remainder of his life, North Dakota coach Brad Berry said in a statement to the Grand Forks Herald. Messages to North Dakota on Thursday weren't immediately returned. My God. I love how motherfuckers just be like, racism? Who cares? He can play the sport. Until they can't.
So what else did he do besides some shit in 8th grade? That shit should be locked in a vote, though.
I mean, I guess it's a criminal shit. It's a criminal situation, and it came out, and there you go.
It's a criminal.
It was a criminal complaint. So
in 8th grade.
That would make him a juvenile, which means his record should be sealed.
Yeah.
No, his records can be sealed. Does not mean his records should be or are sealed. And in fact, that may not. They don't necessarily have his records. They have the story that came out around the time of it. And the story is still going to be. It's just going to be there. It's only 4 years ago, so it's definitely present. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I understand like what he did was fucked up, but if I got in trouble or people did show the shit I did in 8th grade, man, I would never get a job for doing nothing.
If you did enough shit to make it into the paper for, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, probably.
Well, I guess that's one of the times I was lucky being black then. They make the paper. The news don't show will go in the ghetto.
That just happened to be another Ohio story that I was like, yeah, for fuck's sakes, Ohio, you be wilding out here.
I don't disagree with the fact that he did something fucked up, but that shit was 8th grade. And like, when do we like start like realizing like?
So you hear 8th grade and you must think, I don't know, that was forever ago.
No,
I read that shit as it was 2016, meaning 4 years ago.
It was 4 years, but I mean, come on, man. Like, he was a juvenile. Like that, like when I said that record shouldn't be a public thing.
And again, this is not the record. This is just that it was a public story at the time it happened.
So
it was such a big deal. Like, It was such a big deal. This little white racist knucklehead did this shit to this black boy that it was in the papers.
Yes.
So it's not his juvenile record. It is just the public record.
Yes, and I understand that, but like in the smaller papers in like the suburbs of Ohio, they have the press papers, and they put every little thing in that paper. Like it's this whole section. Next time, I'm gonna see if I can find one for the next episode. But it's like on Front Street, somebody broke into a car. It's everything in there. Yeah, like a police blotter. Yeah. So I just kind of feel like I do not condone what he did, but at the same time, he was a juvenile at the time, and some stuff I do not. I mean, he was a kid, and I did real fucked up shit when I was that age.
If he was like 23 saying racist shit, I could understand. But if he was 13 doing racist shit, like maybe he could grow. I don't know.
Yeah, he very well might be still racist, but at the same time, let him do the fucked up shit when he said, like when he 17, 18.
They literally just pointed out in this very story that he still ain't apologized to the little boy. Still, nigga, just say you sorry. Just say you sorry and keep a motherfucking moving.
I mean,
you could have did that right now in this situation. You could have just been like, "Oh, bro, I'm sorry. I was young and dumb," and it could have been just, and they probably would have been like, "Cool," because everybody else seems to be like, "Cool." He ain't getting kicked out of college. Just because this team said they don't want his rights, don't mean some other team can't pick it up if he really does well in college.
Yeah, most likely some other team is gonna pick him up, but at the same time, like.
I mean, if he was in the draft for this, he wasn't going to college, so that wasn't a concern.
No. NHL works different. People get rights to motherfuckers all the time, and they go to college, and then they can go join up with the NHL team. That shit. Yeah, he was going.
So it's not like baseball.
No, yeah, he is committed to go to the University of North Dakota. So he will go to school first, and then assuming someone wants his rights. He'll be able to join the team.
I just kind of hope, like, for just the sake of the world, that this dude, maybe down the line he'll apologize. Maybe down the line, he'll learn from this. But like, he's going from Ohio to North Dakota. He ain't gonna be around many more black people to try to advance it. Like, he's going to a sport with not many black people. He grew up in Ohio. If I ain't heard of that part of Ohio, ain't a lot of black people there.
Yeah, I mean, you've not heard of Toledo?
No, what was the other? No, it was what was the?
So he went to Sylvania School in Toledo, Ohio.
Well, I thought Sylvania was the town, but
nah.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like. It might not be for this particular story or this particular situation, but we are just canceling a lot of people and canceling shit that sometimes it's like, man, people fuck up. And if y'all heard about some shit I did or heard me do something fucked up, am I off the show?
I have no idea how any of this works. May it never come up.
Anthony called somebody a cracker in the streets.
Oh no, that's company policy. You're good on that one.
Oh. Okay.
Oh my god. How that's it's just a wild one for me. I did what I was supposed to do and went ahead and voted Tuesday evening. As the skies just was pouring, but it was literally the most fun I've had voting ever. There were people all around screaming, "Hey, thank you for voting." There was a big old party bus driving around playing music, and the guy driving, saying every time I get stopped just on the beat, they're like, "All right, now go vote, y'all." And it was like just. It was a delight, It was appropriately socially distanced line with everybody mask on. As we got closer to the building, there was a little mouse or a vole running around. It was kind of cool. Like, look at that, it's a mouse or a vole. I don't know which one it was. It was kind of dark, you know what I'm saying? But still, it's cute. The people inside of it were so friendly, and I promise you right now, if Vanessa was standing right next to me, I almost got overwhelmed. I was like, these people are literally the keepers of the democracy right now, because they are in here helping all these people vote and do their civic duty, and they are staying here late and working real hard. And because of the way early voting works in this region, they had to basically, you could see in the back of because they were saying you could see in the room that they had to go back to get everybody's ballot, that it was divided by city in the county, and of course then it has to be subdivided by districts in those cities, because city council or whatever is running like that. And the lady was just so sweet, and she's like, okay, it says now you signed up for vote by mail. I go, I did. And she goes, did you get your ballot? I said, I did. It did come late, and I decided I'd rather just come in here and vote in person. She goes, a lot of people are doing that. No problem. Let me delete that out. Didn't make a stink about it. Didn't try to be shitty to me or anything. Just was like, here you go. And I was like, everything about it was wonderful. It was such a nice experience. And I've done it. I've done what I always do. I vote. I voted in every election I could since I turned 18. I truly have, and so I'm still on it. And I felt real good about it. But also, like I said, I felt good just being down there. They were super nice when we were parking. Y'all know I'm still in the big fucking the no limit tank, and the guy was like, all I got is that space right there by a dumpster. He goes, you're gonna be hanging out a bit, but no worries, just go ahead and do that. He gave me a parking spot that in no way, shape, or form he should have let me have, because of how fucking far out that truck was hanging. But he was like, he wanted me to go get in there and vote. And as I was coming out, it was getting toward you got to be in line by 7:00, and people were still pulling into the parking lot, and they're like, you gotta hurry up, you gotta get in there, gotta be. If you're in line by 7, you can vote. You know what I'm saying? You're good to go at that point. And people were coming, and it's just like, we actually came through, I want to say Saturday, and we're going to attempt to vote, but the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections is on East 30th and Euclid. I'm on, like, what is that? Is that Chester or is that Payne? I think it's Chester. The line Saturday was down from Euclid, down Chester, and then wrapping all the way down toward 90. And it went. And it was like, I was like, well, we can't go vote today, babe, because of Saturday. I was like, there's no way. That line is kind of ridiculous. But my barber, I follow my barber on Instagram, said he went to go vote and said it only took like 45 minutes. And I was like, all right. That means they got it moving. So, like I said, Vanessa and I struck out Tuesday after work, and after work, and to go get to go get my vote on and get our vote on, and got it knocked out. And it was I don't know. Like I said, it truly filled your boy. It filled me with it heartened me as opposed to disheartening me. It heartened me because I was like, one of the judges running was out there. He goes, "Hey, do you need a sample ballot?" I go, I don't. I said I know exactly what I'm voting for, and I have everything written down. I have all my notes. He goes, okay, because they don't let us put the D next to our name on the judge's ballot. I'm running, and it was Judge Bell, and he always go, oh, don't worry, Judge Bell, sir, you already have my vote. You have my vote, sir. And he just seemed genuinely happy about that. And I was like, cool, bro. So that was, like I said, the entire experience was lovely. Tons of, but a lot of just employees in general, the sheriffs there, making sure everybody was safe, and so forth. Representatives of the sheriff's department. I don't know who was who, but you know what I'm saying. But just make sure everybody was safe and keeping the line space. Like, oh, hold up, let's get a little space and blah blah blah. And a wonderful experience through and through. And like I said again, by the time you hear this episode, all this will have been for whatever it was for, and that is that. But I would tell you, if for my locals, voting early in Cuyahoga County, kind of the move. So that is what's been going on in my neck of the woods. So what's been popping with y'all?
What has been popping with me? Not a whole lot. I did. I got a flat the other day out of nowhere.
On a new joint?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
You ran over something, or it was just a bad tire?
It turns out I ran over something. But
good. I'd rather you ran over something than they gave you a shit tire. You had to go back like, hey man, what's that?
I would have rather it been a shit tire. But
really?
Then I would have got a brand new one for free. But
fair point.
But for the first time, I called Roadside Assistance. I know how to change a tire.
Yeah,
I've done it a bunch of different times. But I was on my way to see my mom, and this, in my new car, I don't have like an extra pair of shoes in there like I normally would, or stuff to bend down on and get on the ground and get dirty, change it. So I called Roadside Assistance, and it sucked.
Really?
So I know I have Roadside Assistance, but I have it in. So I have like key assistance. So if I break a key or something like that, or my key mess up, I can just get another one, no charge.
Okay. So,
but that was an assistance program. It wasn't with that. Then I bought a certified used car. So with since it is certified, then I get all these extra perks of buying this car. And one of them is Roadside Assistance. So I called the company, and they were like, okay, we'll send somebody in about 55 minutes. Then halfway through that wait, the people canceled. So I had to wait on them to call somebody else and for somebody else to come out. So then, not to mention I had the boys in the car.
Oh, jeez Louise.
So I had the boys in the car, and I'm trying to give them my VIN number and all this information, and they would not they. Embry would not be quiet for nothing. He was just kept on talking like dada, and talking to me, and then Anthony was asking me something. What was he asking me? No matter what he was asking me, he could have waited, but he didn't. And so then my girlfriend came to get the boys so they could, because we were on my way to my mom's house, and she was like, "Well, I'll take them there," because she was on her way out for the afternoon. So, instead of just having the boys cooped up in the house with just me, I was like, "Well, we'll go visit my mom while she's out with the girls." Yeah, that was the plan for today, and. While she came and I was loading the boys into the car, changing over the car seats and stuff, the tow truck, not the tow truck, but the guy called my phone while I'm outside of the car. Yeah. And he's like, "Well, I took another call in those 4 minutes that I called you in, so you're going to have to wait another 20 minutes. So, I waited another 20 minutes for him to come, and it wasn't even a tow truck; it was just a dude in a pickup truck.
Yeah, just coming to change the tire for sure.
Just to come change the tire. Could have been anybody. So one thing I can say is I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but 3 or 4 police rode by me, and only one stopped to ask me if I needed help. One cop drove past me she went back and forth, didn't stop, didn't slow down, didn't see if I needed help at all. But one cop did stop. You okay? I'm like, yeah, because it happened on the freeway. Yeah, it happened on the freeway, but luckily I was right near an exit, so I just pulled off to the side. I probably could have. It was funny. It was 2 dead deer in my way, so I had to go out, go in, go out, and go in because it was a big old buck that was no longer with us. And then there was another one, but then I got off on the freeway, and then I turned off on the first street, and luckily the street was like a dead end. So, not a lot of traffic coming through, but enough coming through that it's a street. Yeah. And just parked on the street and just waited. Um, so when I get a chance to, I'm definitely gonna put another pair of shoes in my car so I can just change it myself. Because
I would tell you, as a motherfucker who at this point has had to use them multiple times, just pay for AAA. It's not too pricey. You can put you and the lady on it, and without much issue at all either. Their highest tier, which is what we have, like platinum service, is not too bad, and they be on it, man. And they are so just generally sweet. Like I said, we've had to use them multiple times over multiple vehicles at this point, and it's just well worth it. I wouldn't even thought to call Roadside Assistance. I mean, I have Roadside Assistance built in on my currently still in the shop car, but I even still during that accident, I still called AAA to come tow him, as opposed to trying to get towed through my insurance or whatever.
In this day and age, AAA is just the Uber of roadside assistance. Like, AAA hires out companies in the markets that they're in to go do the work for them. So it's not like you're actually getting a person from AAA. It's just a contracted worker by AAA. And I only know that because my brother used to work for a company that was a contracted AAA towing company. Actually, both of them did that for a while. I don't know if the one still does. I know the other one doesn't. But like they would go out on runs for hours at a time, like with the safety vest and all that bullshit.
Hmm. And in your case, like you said, it wasn't even a tow truck. It was just a dude in a truck, coming to change the tire or whatever. And they have those too. And you'll see them, like I said, they'll come a running, and like I said, they'll see the logo on the side of the car. Like I said, it's just they've literally been a lifesaver. So I can't help but show them some love for their service. But like I said, if you want to, you're trying to get busy, change the tire or put a donut on, I guess. But I'm old at this point. I'll probably never change the tire again unless I have to.
Maybe about like 4 months ago, she was taking her sister to work, and she got a flat, and the boys were like super ass impressed that I knew how to do it. They was like, "What? How come you ain't changed this tire? I know you know how to do it." that was Anthony, of course. Emery was just like, Emery goes out of his way to tell me how much he doesn't like me and how much he likes you. He goes out of his way like, nah, yeah, well, Mama can do it. I don't really want you to do it. He goes out of his way to tell me how much he loves Mama. Like, Mama's so smart. You smart? I'm like, I guess so. Mama graduated from college. I didn't graduate from college. So technically she's smarter.
Oh my god!
Could you imagine if she was bad mouthing you while they were in the womb and he just picked up on it?
I mean,
she's looking down at her belly when you weren't around, like, your daddy's a dumbass.
I don't think she would go that far.
I only keep him around because he cooks well.
She doesn't say I do, so it's not that.
Oh my god!
I mean, but honestly, I have had girlfriends tell me, like, honest to goodness, like, you know what? If I could leave you and take the cooking, I would. I was like, well, I'm glad you go.
And that's why Anthony should get kicked off the show.
There's other reasons I should get kicked off the show.
I don't know. Yeah, like I said, that's wild you say that. Like I said, I hadn't even considered that. Yo, that's an option, isn't it? Like, motherfucker, come change my tire. Nigga, I'll be right here.
Yeah, like, I felt like I didn't feel right about it. I kind of felt like, man, I could be doing this by myself, but I do have on Jordans right now. So, and I mean, honestly, that was the main reason I didn't change it. I mean, yes, I could have went outside of my... See, that's the thing. I do have extra socks in my car, but I didn't have extra shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, them shoes is older than my youngest son. I mean...
Put some respect on them.
I don't have any of that shit in my car. I don't have a spare tire. I don't have a car jack. I don't have extra shoes.
You have a donut in your car.
If I do, it's hidden.
Yeah, it's underneath some shit.
Where it should be underneath the carpet in your trunk. Should be
one of these days. I'll have to look because as far as I know, I don't have any of that shit.
I mean,
it should be done in a basic jack. And Jesus Christ, I'm glad you don't got much traveling to do. Because I know that way. I know you are.
Hey man, I just drove to Cincinnati and back on Sunday.
That has occurred. You have done it safely. It's not a worry.
Yeah.
But going forward now, I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! Now I gotta make sure this man got a damn jack and a tire.
I have those jumper cables in the back though that Anthony gave me a couple years ago.
Hey, there you go.
Oh,
you can roll those up in a tight ball and be like, we will roll on this until we get where we're going.
A rim can't be that hard to replace.
No, not really. It's not.
That is terrible.
Yeah, just lean a little bit,
to the side.
Man, when I got the oil changed, they did take some of the pressure out of the tires. Because when I got the car back from them, all the tires were down. Like the front left one was still at 36, like it wouldn't go to 38. But all the other ones were back down to 38, so they definitely took some air out of those tires. I drove for what was that like?
Multiple 15, states on multiple days?
Multiple overinflated tires.
What happens when you overinflate your tires?
They could pop.
I mean, yeah, that.
But he used I believe Giant Eagle, right?
It was Sheets.
Sheets, okay.
I went to Sheets and I used their air machine for the tires before we hit the road. And I set the machine to 38 PSI and I did each tire. So it told me when to pull off the little nozzle thing from the tires. Then when I got back in the car and I drove to get tea, my front left tire was at 36 PSI. And then all the other three tires were 52 PSI, which is 14 PSI higher than it was supposed to be. Yeah.
Oh yeah, how the fuck did that happen?
I'm going to add it to my Amazon cart right now. I'm just going to simply get you a tire gauge. That way you have a tire gauge going forward. I think look, unless the sheets machine just wilding, which I guess is possible.
Well, it filled up the other three tires, and then when I tried to do the front left one, it kept giving me an error message. So it's very possible the machine was just fucked up.
Yeah.
Sheets is good at making cheese curds, not fixing your tires right, I suppose.
I do like their cheese curds.
Cheese curds are delicious.
Whose is better, that restaurant in Louisville or Sheets?
Well, Sheets is more affordable. And you know what? I'm going to say it. Sheets are better. The restaurants were just there. I had no other choice. But Sheets, man, they're the quality's about the same, and they're half the price.
Fair enough.
And if you want to go even further, I like Giant Eagle's better than Sheets.
I didn't know Giant Eagle had cheese curds as an option. Mm-hmm. Cali Cat in the frame.
She's trying to make herself known.
Just Lion King in back there.
How's Smokey doing?
He seems okay. I think he's in a box over there right now.
All right, this is has 19 over almost 20,000 reviews and is still 4.5 stars. So it must be a fine enough tire gauge. We'll get it in blue. Add to cart.
Have you guys started Christmas shopping yet?
I technically did, in that I copped a pair of stance socks for the boy. That it was been sitting down here forever, and he's like, "You got some socks?" I go, "No, I didn't get socks, but I'm not going to go no further than that discussion with you, sir." So, yes, I have technically started started shopping.
I am done pretty much.
You be on that shit though.
Unless the boys say, "Oh yeah, I gotta have this," I'm done. The things that they ask for the most, I'll send you a picture of it. Since I know you guys are out of the toy game. But it went on sale at Target and I had to get it. Because one thing I've learned through being a dad with Imaginext toys, not only do they go up in value, but they sell out very quickly. Is there anything you guys are looking out for that you want for Christmas this year?
PlayStation 5.
I mean, you're going to have to stroke some old ladies.
My goal is to just go because Target swear they're gonna have some on release day, and I'm already off that day, so I'm
What
going
day
to
is that?
The 12th of November.
Oh, I'm off that day too.
I know. We remember we
Oh yeah, I took off this coming Monday too, just because like I still had 2 days left to use, and like we have a lot of capacity days for the rest of the year. So I saw this coming Monday was open, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll take another 3-day weekend. Have a 3-day weekend, come back work 4 days, have the weekend off, come back work 2 days, then be off 5 days. Seems nice."
I was going to have a 4-day weekend, but I had to rearrange when we had to go traveling, and so Monday I will be working, but I am off Tuesday, and so that'll be, and I'm off next Friday as well. So I got a couple of days off next week as well.
Yeah, I still have one more day to put in for, and then I have 4 sick days in case something bad happens.
Yeah, I have my updated jury summons. So starting on the 13th, I have to start calling to see if I'm going to be on the jury. And again, that lady seemed to be real like, "Oh, you got a low number. You was going to be on the jury." And then I saw a case that was getting adjudicated this week, and I was like, "Ooh, I definitely probably would have been the one I would have been on," which is about some dude who might have murdered a 4-year-old.
Oh shit!
And I am glad I did not have to be a part of that. So, ooh,
that's like those old Micro Machines playsets.
Pretty much.
That's nice. Right on. Yeah, Xander said he wanted a camera of some sort. He said he will give me further instructions. So in regards to that, so I'm like, okay, cool, got you that. That's easy.
I appreciate him taking tasteful news.
And I don't know what Lee said they wanted of. I don't know, but they'll work it out for me. And if not, they said they have an Amazon list that's always rip roaring and ready to go. So I was like, cool. I'm glad you do that, because to be prepared for when their aunts and grandmas ask them what they want, they're like, oh, here you go, have a list. So I'm like, dope.
My girlfriend doesn't listen to the show, and she saw me in bed now. But last year I got her a Barbie doll, from 1998. Orlando Magic one. Yeah. This year I got her Cavaliers one. Let's see how she if we can keep it rolling.
Nice. Where you be finding these at? Just the internet provides?
Yeah, just the internet.
Nice.
I think like last year I got a used one off Amazon, or it was probably or eBay. So it'd be the same thing this year.
What is it? Just like a Barbie doll that comes with a jersey or something?
A jersey dressed like Mariah Carey. I don't know if you remember her wearing that jersey back then.
I do remember that.
But they got a wizard, man. They are very expensive on Amazon, but on other websites they're not.
Warriors, man, fuck the Warriors.
That was just the first one that came up, man.
I like that jersey. That was the. Who's the one dude used to play for him at that time?
Jason Richardson?
Nah, man, he had a nice beard.
Baron Davis.
Word life, man.
You know Baron Davis had a show?
No, what was his show about?
It's still on.
Oh, Baron Davis has a show.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Eric Andre show, but with Baron Davis.
He was on recently. My mama told me. Eric Andre.
Oh, Eric Andre was.
Yeah. So
Eric Andre is just like.
I read something about he got a concussion filming an episode of his show with John Cena. Like they botched a spot where John Cena was putting him through a table and he hit his head like real bad.
Yeah.
What, recently?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he has a new season coming sooner than later. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was talking about it on like one of the late night talk shows or something.
I just don't like him. Like he just rubbed me the wrong way, and it's not even like his comedy or nothing. He just seems like he almost acts as if the shit he's doing is highbrow. It's like, oh, you just don't understand it.
He thinks he's Andy Kaufman, and he's just not. So
it's just really weird to me. Like, I watched his Netflix special, and I guess maybe just because I'm not hip to his usual shit that, like, I wasn't in on the joke so much. And, like, I'm not about the, like, pulling your pants down dick thing. I'm good on that. I don't need to see your man.
So I know you wanted to talk about some stuff you've been cooking lately. You were saving a salmon story?
So, yeah, I had cooked salmon a couple weeks ago, and then I wasn't on the show to talk about it, and I don't remember what the fuck we did last week.
We had fun.
Oh, yeah, we talked about T and I's trip, so, yeah, it's just got shoved on the back burner. So, I've been wanting to try to cook salmon, because salmon seemed like an interesting protein to me with, like, some possibilities with garnishes and whatnot. And so like I've talked about recently, I've gotten into ordering shit like groceries from Whole Foods for delivery, which I actually did that before the show tonight. I have delivery coming tomorrow. And two times ago, I ordered a pound of salmon. So I ordered a pound of salmon from Whole Foods to try and cook it. And I ordered some asparagus with it too. And I bought some like minced garlic in a jar, which in retrospect may have been a mistake because I'm not sure if I like it as much if I just minced it myself.
Yeah.
But there is the convenience factor of it and everything. I looked up like some simple shit on just my first attempt at cooking it, and so it was like putting it in tinfoil and putting some lemon juice on the salmon and putting minced garlic on top of it, putting the asparagus in the tinfoil with the salmon, and putting it in the oven for like 20 minutes or something.
Now, is that the whole, did you like cook the whole shebang, or did you like, we're going to cook half of it this way, say the other half?
I did the whole thing because a pound of salmon isn't as much as you would think.
I mean, it's a pound.
But I mean, like, size-wise.
Okay,
it was like a little square. Like, I could have maybe cut it into, like, 2 fillets, but, like, I was just trying to do it, like, that one way for that time. And, I didn't really like how it came out. Like, the skin didn't crisp up in the tinfoil, and, the fish was real difficult to cook because, like, it wasn't cooking through all the way at the original time, so I had to keep putting it in and checking it.
Okay.
And then, I'll be honest, man, I got sick of the salmon after, like, I had to force myself to eat the leftovers. Like, I just like, I don't hate salmon. I just don't think I'm a salmon lover.
Are you a fish guy in general?
I do like fish, but, like, I don't know, just something about salmon. It's like I get sick of it after, like, a little bit. Like,
after 2 bites?
Yeah, it's like I had to force myself to finish it because I paid for it and I spent all the time trying to cook it. Like, I did not like the way it came out, and I'm not sure if, like, I'm willing to try again because, like, I just don't care to try and eat it that badly. Like, maybe it would be better and, like, I could, but, like, I just don't feel the need to. But at least I can say I tried.
Salmon is one of those things that, like Eric Andre, for example. It seems like a lot of people like them or say they do, but then they really don't in real life. Salmon ain't that good.
Yeah, it's like, it's not that it's bad. It's just, after a couple bites, it's like I don't want it anymore. And then, like, I feel like I put all this time and effort into something that I don't want after a couple bites, and then, like, it's not like I got a lot of time to eat it because the expiration on it, once you cook salmon, you got, like, 3 days max before you gotta eat that shit or throw it out. Whereas, like, with, like, chicken or red meat, like, I feel comfortable enough eating that shit after, like up to, like, a week. I know that might be too long for some people, but, like, you know, can't live in fear on everything.
You know what works, and it ain't got you yet. So
yeah, I enjoy a good diarrhea every now and again. Sometimes you gotta clear out the system.
I've been taking not diarrhea, but like I take a laxative like every other day. Not because I have trouble pooping, because I like a full evacuation. I'll show it to you. It's very gentle. I'll send you a link.
Basically, so you use it as a stool softener, basically at that point. You know what I'm saying? Which we're very much just old manning at that point.
No, not for a stool softener. My stool's fine. I'm saying for a full evacuation. So
yeah, I know people who like use like mucin. I mean, not mucin. What's the shit in the helps you poop? The powder. God damn.
Yeah, we see commercials for years. You stir it in, you whatever. It's not. Yeah. It's
Minoxidil 9.
No,
it's like Tang.
Metamucil.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like I know people who take that shit like every now and again just to help flush themselves out. But yeah, I did that with the salmon, which like I thought like I just like one I didn't like the asparagus that I got from Whole Foods. Like it didn't cook very well, and the parts that did cook through, like it was like not tasty. Like the stalks were really like lacking. So that was one of the times.
Were they the big ones or the little ones?
There were the little ones.
Yeah, the little ones. You don't gotta cook them for very long, but they're usually very tender. Those are the ones you're supposed to eat.
Yeah, like well, for me they were like kind of tough, like the ones that they cooked through, and then like they weren't left with a lot of like substance to them. I was not impressed. I was not pleased. So I found that I kind of like the thicker asparagus because I get a little more cook time with it. Get a little more girth. Yeah, a little more girth on it. So anyway, you and I have been talking about spaghetti and how I wasn't happy with like my flavor profile in my spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
So you and I talked about some things I could try differently, and I did a couple things differently on this last batch. Like I actually ate leftovers of it for dinner tonight, and I still have like probably another serving left. So I've been using the spaghetti cut of the konjac noodles, and when I ordered them from Whole Foods to try the other brand that I could get on like readily available rather than ordering through Amazon, I think the brand they have readily available is Miracle Noodle. I ordered the fettuccine cut rather than the spaghetti cut so I could try the other brand and try a different cut. And I found that when I make this meat sauce heavy spaghetti, I actually like the fettuccine cut more than I like the spaghetti cut for it. I get it, and it like honestly, I can't even tell that they're not pasta. Like I get the same kind of taste off of them.
Yeah.
So it's a good substitute. And I did not use tomato paste this time, like we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So my sauce was a little more watery, but it wasn't as tomato forward. And I also used some minced garlic when I cooked the meat, and I put some minced garlic in the sauce that I made. Mm-hmm. So like I used 2 cans of tomato sauce. I used a can of. I think this was my problem. Is I should have only used 1 can of tomato sauce because I also used a can of diced tomatoes, which had its own tomato juice inside of it. So I may have played myself a little bit, or I should have just let the sauce cook down a little bit more than I did. But I added Parmesan to the sauce and minced garlic while I was cooking it, along with some garlic powder inside the meat. And I enjoyed this batch a lot more. I think like I could do a little more refining here and there, but I think it's a step in the right direction compared to what I was doing before.
I like tomato paste, but you know what? Fuck that. I'm an adult. I don't like tomato paste that much. Tomato paste, it seems like it gives you that extra acidity that I'm not looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it's, gives it that, extra umami, I guess it would be. But, I'm used.
I was just trying to use it more as like a thickener for the tomato flavor than having another can of runny sauce. That's all I was really using it for.
Yeah.
But like I hear what you're saying because it does pack quite a wallop into a little bitty can.
I seen like a video of them making tomato paste, and it's like they legitly just leave that shit out in the sun, and then like let the juice run off the table. I was like, that's amazing, but yet I understand why I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like it, but I think like you were right that it may have been overpowering it was forcing me to have to go heavier on seasonings in the rest of the recipe. Where if I just cut it out, it gives me a little more freedom to play around a little bit. And one thing I did do this time that I don't usually do, which I know I need to get better about, was tasting my food as I was cooking it. Like, seeing if I needed salt and shit like that. Usually I just kind of, like, know what I'm doing because I've done it before and I just go with it without tasting. But this time I actually was, like, tasting the sauce and all that. But, like, while I was cooking, like, oh, this needs salt. So I'd go and put some more salt in and shit like that. Like, it was, I felt like someone who knew what they were doing, even though I only kind of half knew what I was doing.
Oh, you know what you're doing. I kind of feel like when you're cooking, like a lot of times I cook with my eyes, and I know this is how I want it to look. I
think that works a lot for meat.
Yeah,
like being able to cook your meat with your eyes is a very important tool.
Yeah, it's helpful to know, like, this is going to look pleasing to me, and then let's work on the flavors as we go. Like, I learned from from YouTube, one thing I was doing wrong for many, many years is adding salt to, like, when I'm making turkey burgers. I mean, of course I don't make beef burgers, but adding salt to the meat, like, while you're seasoning, like when you're preparing the patty, it makes the patties tough. And, like, they did this test where they did put the salt in the burger, and then they cooked it, and then they threw it against like a pan, and like when it was made with the salt, it stayed together. But the unsalted patty that you saw afterwards, like, it fell apart, and it wasn't as tough.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I ain't add no more salt to my patties.
Yeah, I do like watching the YouTube channels for shit like that. It's like the little nuancey stuff that, like, you would only get really from people who know what they're really doing.
Yeah. Rather
than just, like, applying, like, technique that, like, you would use for ground beef and putting it, like, you would, like, in ground turkey or something when the sciences don't actually match up. Like, I was watching, I think it was Sola cook some rice dishes on episode a couple days ago. And it was like, she was talking about how, like, you gotta let it cook so that the tomato sauce, and, like, the one dish she was cooking, like, where it starts to bubble, and they'll let you know when it's done. And, like, it was just, like, something that, like, I don't think I would have, like, been able to pick up on if someone had told me.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a lot of knowledge, but it's always funny to me. I'm like, man, I'm real particular about the stuff I use in the kitchen. Like, I don't use like rubber spatulas that come in 2 pieces. Like, I only use rubber spatulas that's a 1 piece.
I would like to get a hold of. So if you could find me a link for that, sir, I like that. Mine are coming 2 pieces, and I know what the problem is just shit can just get up in there.
Yeah. So you mean like the tip comes off away from the handle?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Man, I fucking hate when my utensils come apart.
Yeah.
We have a spatula in the kitchen. Like, I broke one of the spatulas on accident like 2 weeks ago when I was, like, pressing down on some shit. It was like, plastic one, and it just snapped. So, like, we have, like, a metal one that I bend all the time. So I always have to bend it back. Because it's like a cheap ass, like, dollar store one. And then we got another hard plastic one that doesn't have, like, holes in it. It's just a completely solid, flat spatula. Mm-hmm. And then we have a black one that does have holes in it, but the fucking handle comes out from the spatula portion. And I fucking hate that spatula.
I just I take them apart and wash them separate in the dishwasher and stuff like that. But still, it's like, you know what I'm saying, when I'm stirring every now and again, they can just come off into, like, you know, if it's a thick batter or something.
It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, man. So I would like some unibody construction for my.
That's
my
one
utensils.
of the things I was looking at when we were at IKEA. Was like, I was trying to find a meat tenderizer.
Yeah,
I got the garlic press that I've been wanting. And then, like, I was trying to see if they had any good, like, spatulas and stuff because I knew I had broken that one. And, like, I looked at one there, but, like, I decided to not pull the trigger at that time.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of want to do, like, a little inventory around here. It's like, I think I have, like, 3 fucking colanders up in the cabinet. Like, I don't need 3 colanders. Like, But the problem is, it's like my shit's mixed in with his shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, at this point, like, I don't know whose is what for some of the stuff. And, like, for two people, like, there's so many fucking glasses. Like, I started pulling some of that shit out a couple weeks ago. But it's like, I gotta just do a purge. Like, I gotta get, like, rid of the old crappy Tupperware and just buy, like, good Tupperware, like the glasses with the snap lids and shit. Like, I just gotta, like, just start fresh. Like, upgrade my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, talking to my girlfriend the other day about, like, we had some bowls, but I was like, we just had these lids to these bowls. I'm like, where's the bowls at? She's like, I'm not somewhere around. Like, when I was like, I'm throwing the lids away. And she's like, well, when we go back to work, I'm like, I ain't never going back to work. We don't need these bowls no more. We're not going anywhere where we need extra bowls anymore. Like,
and that's the thing too. Like, Tupperware now is like, if you can just get plastic shit, it's cheap. It's easily replaceable. Like, the glass shit, yeah, it's a little more expensive, but like, if you're just buying plastic shit to take your lunch in, that's just cheap as fuck. They sell kits of that shit for like $12.
Less than that, because like the microwavable ones I'll use are like $2.49. I'm throwing them away. Like for the glass stuff at home, like, I try to take good care of it. So, man, like, cause I don't like getting smells inside of my dishes. So I use, like, when I'm storing food, I use glass. So as far as that goes, like, we need to just get rid of this plastic stuff. Maybe we'll have like a few off in the cut for when people come over and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's all of it should be glass. I'm not going back to work. I've been like, dude, I'm not going back to work. It doesn't matter. I don't need that kind of stuff no more. Mm-hmm. But as far as like the utensils go for you guys, no need to look on the internet. First of all, you got me. Second of all, you got Marks. Marks hasn't been as good lately, but like either Marshalls or TJ Maxx, and sometimes Burleson Co Factory. I feel like the best product for the one-piece spatulas is a company called Core, Core. Look out for that kind of stuff, and don't be afraid to like just try a couple different ones. But I usually just go for silicone. I usually don't pay much for it, so if it's not that great, I'm like, oh, I was giving it a try. So, but I'll keep an eye out for you guys. Like I said, Christmas is coming around.
I definitely, not during this time of extra COVID, I would want to get back down to IKEA, because I just enjoy IKEA. I promise you, that's just what's up. But also, we was on the super like, bruh, we've been driving for a long time and walking is kind of. I was whatever.
Real tired and real sore and real ready to get home.
Yeah. So,
I was trying to be a trooper on that run, but like I was very much interested in getting home.
No doubt. But I wouldn't mind going in there and just giving it the time it deserves, and also just slowing my roll and maybe getting the right things off the shelf. I used my my little glass tea kettle today for the first time. I filmed it and was about to post it on my Instagram, and then I was like, but why? And I deleted it. So.
But you can send it direct. Like, don't you got like the settings?
I could have just sent it to y'all. I guess that would have been cool. But I was just like, this seems purposeless.
That was one of the things I realized the other day that I don't have is a tea kettle.
Ah, okay.
Like, I was thinking about that when I brought that tea home.
Yeah.
Because I have some tea bags, but I was just gonna make like a giant batch of cold brewed tea with them. And then but the little one we bought at IKEA, I'm like, fuck, I don't have like a tea kettle for this. I would have to just like boil water in a pot and hope that I could like pour it accurately.
Well, a kettle, okay, all right, need a tea kettle. Yeah. They got if you get British on them, they got the ones that are just like basically the instant kettles, basically the little electric joints.
I would probably just get like a stove one.
No doubt,
right?
I have a stove, and that's what I use to boil my water. But Gabe has
Anthony shaking his head no.
Gabe has an electric one. I thought it was pretty nice when I saw it. So I assume you have links coming. Yeah, that's kind of the one that Gabe has. But I remember reading a review about this probably on Amazon. They was like, that bitch shattered in their hand and boiling water got everywhere, and it was like, I was like, oh, okay then.
At the beginning of all of this, remember I bought. That's like when I started making tea like every day. Yeah. I usually make it every day at work, but like I use that thing like 5 times a day.
Yeah, the old electric kettle, which is like the second thing in Amazon.
I'm surprised at how quickly the electric shit heats up. Like when we stayed in Nashville, they had a Keurig in the hotel room, but like they had like the little K-cup shit, and they had a couple ones for tea. So I made a English breakfast K-cup, and it was like I just poured water into the Keurig that I had from like the sink in the bathroom. That was just room temperature, and it fucking heated it up and made my tea within like a minute and a half. Yeah. And that shit was hot as fuck. Like I left it in the cup. Went and took a shower, got dressed, and came back, and that shit was still warm.
Yeah, it
like it wasn't like smoldering hot at that point, but it was still hot to touch.
Yeah, it's because using a microwave, it usually takes 3 minutes. It's faster than a microwave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like because tea was sitting there when I made that cup. Like it didn't take hardly any time at all. Like I popped the little thing in, I hit power, and within like 45 seconds, it was spitting out hot liquid.
It was a girthy, hot cup of liquid waiting for you.
Girthy.
Not really girthy. No.
Like you gonna shit on my girth jokes? Sorry, man. Just went the girthy cup. Set it out. I'm looking at all these various electric kettles, and I'm kind of hype off of them. I'm gonna send y'all a link that there's one I think I just like the way it looks, and it seems to be well reviewed. So this is not me saying I'm getting this bitch. I'm just saying I dig its swag. That's it. Oh, God. How was your trip to the Natty, sir?
It was fine. Everyone was in my house pretty much like a little bit late, but not like too late at the time I told them to be here. So that was a nice change of pace to what I'm used to with most people. And we hit the road, and I filled up. So I got my oil changed the day before at the car dealership and had my tires rotated. I waited fucking like 2 hours at the goddamn dealership for that shit to get done. Wow. Just an oil change and a tire rotation. That was it. It was fucking busy as fuck up in there.
What, you went on Saturday?
Yeah. Well, like, T and I were gone all week. We got back Wednesday night. I worked Thursday and Fridays, and then I had to get it done Saturday because I was driving down to Cincinnati on Sunday. And I hit over the oil on our way back to Cleveland, so I was like 300 miles over the 5,000 by the time I got to the dealership. So, and I was driving down to Cincinnati and back, so that would have been probably like another 500 miles or so. And so I had to get it done that day. And because I bought the tires at the dealership, they rotate them for free. So that saves me like $18 or so, depending on where you go. But I definitely paid for it in the time, but at least I got to watch 3.5 episodes of Flip or Flop.
I know we had talked. We talked about this off air, but you know, Christina got divorced from the new dude already.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I was watching the show. I was like, maybe he's not the problem, but like in the new episodes, he definitely does feel like a problem. He feels like a dude who's trying to be younger than he is and funnier than he is. So it was kind of awkward to watch.
Yeah, so in the episodes, I've seen some of the newer ones. Like, she be making fun of the way he tried to dress now.
Yeah, it was like one of the episodes, like, his buddy dared him to go get his face, like, blood sucked out of his face. And so there was, like, pictures of him with his face all puffy red, and he popped up out of the truck, and he was like, she was saying that, like, he looked like he was actually 45 now or something like that, like she was ragging on his age. Which made me wonder how old she is, if she was ragging on him for his age and they were married.
But it seems like to me, as a person who's had some exes not like him after the fact, like, so they were saying like, yeah, he had a gun with him when he left the house. And then he was like, he was like, well, I took it because I was walking in the forest. And after seeing that video not too long ago where a fucking mountain, have you seen the mountain lion chasing the dude?
Yeah, I sent that to you guys.
Yeah. Well, of course you've seen it. You sent it to us. It was a girthy video. It was enjoyable.
It was very long.
That video was girthy.
And you got a woman who don't like you already is like, I'm going to get this nigga in trouble. He got a gun with him where he walking.
I just don't understand, like, the money they made from that show must be good if they're continuing to work together after all that shit.
Yeah. I mean, the gangs got I think, if I'm not mistaken, own DIY now. They own a whole fucking station.
Oh, yeah, like they got the Magnolia Network now?
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. Yeah, because, like, DIY, like, when I was at the dealership, they were running commercials where it's like, it's not just one station. It's a fucking, like, all those stations where it's like History and Animal Planet or whatever and Home, whatever. All those different, like, learn how to do shit or learn how things were stations are all under one umbrella.
Yeah.
So, like, the Magnolia Network is just another branch of this do-it-yourself, learn about shit umbrella.
I was at Target, like, they got a whole end cap where it's like, we got all their books, all their cookbooks, and if you go down that aisle, that's where they pots and pans is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they keep their shit together, it could be, he could have his own hammers at Target. He could have his own funny-looking belt.
Well, so, I drove down to Cincinnati, and I didn't have to stop for anything, like gas or nothing, until we got, like, almost to Cincinnati. Actually, I didn't stop for gas until on the way back we were, like, outside Columbus. So I drove from Cleveland down to Cincinnati, and then from Cincinnati to Columbus before I stopped and got gas.
Which is most of the way back at that point, so nice.
Yeah, like, you know the exit with the outlet mall, like, right after like, the first exit after the IKEA.
Yeah.
That was where I stopped to get gas at on the way back. And it was like, I was at like about probably a quarter of a tank at that point, but I also had to pee. So it was a perfect stop. I ended up taking a doo-doo while I was there as well, so that was unpleasant. But no, like so on the way down, it was like Mason, which is like a suburb of Cincinnati. It's like the last little suburb before you get into like downtown Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. We stopped and we ate breakfast at the Big Boy Breakfast Buffet.
The same one we did?
It was not the same one, but it was around the same area. But they were still doing the breakfast buffet, so they had a buffet. Except you didn't pick the shit yourself. They had like a plexiglass up on the buffet, and they had a worker there stationed, and you just told her what you wanted, and she doled it out on the plate and then slid it to you at the end of the buffet line.
That has to be how buffets are going to work going forward. You got to have
it was like it was like being in Chipotle.
Fuck with it. Although then, like, you can't really go ham like you want to unless you're not, without feeling slight embarrassment.
Here's the thing. Like, she listened to explicit instructions because, like, they had like biscuits and chicken tenders and shit like that. So, like, I got 2 biscuits and then I made a chicken biscuit sandwich, and then I got with the other biscuit I made a sausage patty breakfast sandwich. They had like cheesy potatoes. Like, they had a pretty good spread.
Yeah.
And it was only like $9 plus tax. So it was a solid, affordable breakfast that my buddy treated for because I drove, and so I appreciated that.
Is that pre or post poop?
That was pre. That was the first thing I like. The poop came at like 9:30 at night. This breakfast was at about like 11 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, we ate breakfast at the Big Boy, and it was funny because. At some point, they sat, like, some women next to us on the other side of the booth wall. And me and my buddies were talking about OnlyFans. And I mentioned about how easy it must be to be a pimp in this day and age with OnlyFans. Like, because you can just have, like, multiple accounts with multiple women. And you can just, like, you have a wider reach of audience now rather than just a street corner. So it's like taking the pimp game up to another level. And then my one buddy was, like, asking about, like, how many different sex scenes do we think that like someone could shoot in a location? Like, say you rent out an Airbnb and you just go in there and you start filming for like a weekend. Like, how many different like actual like different looking videos you could produce out of that? And it was like, I was purposely talking up the conversation because I knew we had the people next to us, and it made my one buddy so uncomfortable that he actually like hurried us up to get out of the restaurant. And then at that point over the weekend, anytime any of us talked about anything controversial in public, he said, "Please don't big boy this right now." So, which obviously that just eggs us on to actually big boy it some more. So
it's time to big boy this conversation.
Yeah, don't big boy the conversation. That was pretty much what he was saying. So, we finished up, and I drove us down to downtown Cincinnati, and we parked like in a parking garage a couple blocks away from the arena. So it was like less than a 10-minute walk from the car to the stadium. And I mean, I have to say, like, Cincinnati Stadium is shitty. Like, it's so like bland and depressing. It feels like you're in prison. Like, it's just gray cement. There's not really any color to it. Like, none of the sections even had, like, number signs on them or anything. So, like, I had to ask one of the people who was working there, like, which way to even go because nothing was labeled. Then we were in the last fucking row. We were at the top of the stadium. The last fucking row of the section at the very top of the stadium. I had to walk up 33 rows. And this is a dude who hasn't done any cardio in, like, 10 months. That was fucking rough. I got to the top, and I sat down, and I was, like, huffing and puffing for, like, the whole Bengals first drive, just trying to catch my breath. But at that point, too, like, by halftime, I had to piss, but I wasn't going to walk back down and have to walk back up the 33 fucking rows of stairs. So I held that shit until the game was over. And that was one of the mightiest pisses I've taken in quite some time. But, yeah, the Browns pulled it out at the last minute. Baker hit it, our rookie receiver with 11 seconds left or whatever. So we won, bringing my Browns in-person victory total to 2. So I'm like 2-5, 2-6 lifetime now going to Browns games. So after I had 3 buddies in the car with me, but our other buddy and his wife had gone down and rented like an Airbnb, and they had tickets in section 2 sections over from us, but they came over and sat with us. But they did that because my one buddy broke the zip ties on a couple of the chairs. So like they zip tie the chairs up because they're supposed to be social distancing, but it's just zip ties, so like they can be snapped. So he like put his weight on the chairs and snapped the zip ties. So we opened up a couple extra seats. And like, I'll be honest, man, like if you had a mask on, they didn't really come around and do anything. Like no one checked tickets. Like because I had them on my phone, like on the Ticketmaster app. No one asked if we were sitting where we were supposed to be sitting. No one like, it was just, hey, is your mask on? That was it. That was the extent of the hassling. And so after the game, like we ended up, my buddy had like reservations at this restaurant down on like the pier for dinner. And so we went to a bar and had a drink. I got to try a Buffalo Trace product that I haven't had yet, El Martuli. And the bartender, so like they didn't have it listed on the menu. And the bartender didn't know what they were charging for a drink because like it wasn't labeled. So he just gave it to me for $7.50, which was like a fucking steal compared to other shit they were charging for other stuff. Like I know how much the bottle cost. Yeah, when he said $7.50, I was like, done. I'll drink that. So we had to hustle out of there because like it was like 5:22 and our reservations were for 5:30 at the restaurant. And they're like, oh, it's a 5-minute walk. The fuck it was. It was not a 5-minute walk. It was like a 25-minute walk. And we were very late getting there. And it was like a bunch of dudes who have obviously not been doing any physical activity in months with like a super athletic skinny guy and his wife like running ahead. So like we were at the point too where like those of us that were in the car with me, we were like, can we like, we actually stopped at one point on the walk there and we're like having a little huddle of like, should we even bother fucking finishing walking to this restaurant, or should we just like Uber back to the car and leave? So like I looked it up and we were like 11 minutes away and it was just a straight shot down the street. So like we soldiered on and we went to this place. I think it was called the Montgomery Inn, and I guess like they're known for their ribs. So like we get there and we walk inside and I immediately see that like compared to the rest of the people in this restaurant, we're all drastically underdressed because we're all in like Cleveland Browns jerseys and Browns attire and shit like that. And everyone else up in this place is in like polos and button-up shirts, and it's like nice families out with like, you know, for evening dinner at a fancy-ish place or whatever. The menu didn't really back up the attire though, based on the price, but that was still the vibe they were trying to come off with. Now, I've gotten kind of snooty and more judgmental of my restaurant experiences as I've gotten older. And I've become more aware of cooking and whatnot. So I ordered a salad, just a normal their regular house salad. I ordered a 16-ounce bone-in ribeye, medium rare. I got their macaroni and cheese, and then I ended up ordering their peanut butter pie. So the salad was very underwhelming, like hardly anything to it whatsoever. The steak was like overcooked on the outsides, but it was fine on the inside, but they went a little heavy on the seasoning. So like I was not impressed with the steak. It was fine, but it wasn't a $40 steak. I would have said if they had charged me $25, that probably would have been more in line with their quality, but it was at least edible. Their mac and cheese was uninspiring.
Did you have to salt it?
I didn't, but it probably could have used a little bit. It wasn't much to it. It was very bland. Like, I was expecting a little juju in it, like a little something that made me go, oh, this is something, but it was just fine. Like, it was edible. Like, it was standard mac and cheese, like nothing, no wow factor to it or anything.
I mean, paper is edible. I want more from my mac and cheese situation.
Yeah. And then, so I wasn't going to order dessert because I was like, I got to like stop spending money because like, well, like I just come off the trip with you and like, you know how much I spent while we were gone. And, I just spent, you know, my steak dinner was like $38, and then I ordered the side salad, which was supposed to be like $3, and I still had to drive home, which I knew I was going to have to put gas in the car, even though people were helping chip in and everything. But like,
what kind of lettuce is in this salad?
Just iceberg.
Get the fuck out of here, man! Come on, bro. At least maybe a nice little spinach salad, a little egg, maybe some bacon fat.
There's supposed to be a shortage on iceberg right now.
Well, I could have ordered like a Caesar or they had other salad options. I just went with the house salad because they said it was like $3 with the entree. So I was looking at their value plate, but like it was like barely anything in that motherfucker. It was tiny, and like there was like one piece of like I don't eat cucumber or tomato in my salad, but like there was one little like chunk of cucumber, like two little tomatoes I ended up giving to my buddy. There was like no croutons. There was no cheese in it. It was I literally just ate some lettuce with some ranch on it. It was really pathetic. But so like she said they had in-house made peanut butter pie, and so I was like, fuck, I gotta get. I'm down here in Cincinnati. I drove all this way. I'll probably never come back here. I gotta try this peanut butter pie. Like, this is one of my favorite things. So, you know, $7 in the hole further and a couple more empty calories. Here we go. And lo and behold, it was by far the best peanut butter pie I'd ever had in my life.
Wow.
To the point where I questioned that it was actually made by them in the restaurant. And I say this because I distinctly tasted Hershey syrup on the plate. Like, I know the taste of Hershey syrup out of the fucking squeezed container. It was Hershey syrup. And I even asked her when she came back around, I said, hey, is this Hershey syrup you guys use on your desserts? And she said yes. She confirmed that it was Hershey syrup. So they don't even make their own syrup or anything like that. They use straight up Hershey's. And then I said, is this peanut butter pie really made in-house? And she swore that it was. So I'm going to take her at her word for it. Because that lady was quick with the jokes that night. She was lifting up plates with her bare hands that were burning the shit out of me on the table after she set it down. And she was holding them bitches. Like, she would pick up a plate. It was like she couldn't feel pain. She would pick up a plate off the delivery tray, hold it in her hand, and then bring it over to the table and put it down. When I just tapped that bitch to kind of turn it, I felt like I was getting third-degree burns. So this lady, she cannot feel pain in her hands. She has no pain receptors on her fingers. So she swears that it was house-made peanut butter pie. Part of me felt like I should have bought a pie to bring home because it was that good. But I knew if I did that, I would have eaten it in like 3 days. And I don't need that in my life right now. But believe me when I tell you, I've had a lot of peanut butter pies in my life. This was by far the best one I've ever had. Like, hands down, it wasn't even a question.
Tell me of this pie, of its layout, its makeup.
It was just so creamy. Like, I don't know.
What's the name of this place again? Oh no, you said it's called the
I think it was Montgomery Inn.
Montgomery Inn, Cincinnati peanut butter pie. Let's take a look.
Like, it was creamy but thick. It just had like the most like decadent tasting peanut butter taste.
Montgomery Inn, the Boathouse. Montgomery Inn, the original. Montgomery Inn Commissary.
Montgomery Inn Boathouse.
All right.
It was the Boathouse.
The Boathouse. Yeah, it's ribs on like their front page, so you are.
Yeah, like they had like a riblet salad. They had like slabs of ribs. They had
sorry,
like the bibs to go with ribs and shit.
Entertaining. Dude, they don't even got that pie listed on their menu, son.
Yeah, it wasn't even listed on the dessert menu. She told me, and then like she swore that they had it. Because she mentioned it, and then when she handed the dessert menus, I stopped her and I was like, hey, I thought you said you guys had peanut butter pie. And she went, we do. It's just not listed on the menu. Because they had key lime pie. They had their own in-house made ice creams. It was like blueberry something. And I think the other one was strawberry something. They had a molten chocolate cake. And then they had something else that I don't remember how to pronounce it. So like their entrees looked okay and but they weren't like that great. But their fucking dessert menu was outstanding. Like I should have taken a picture. Like that's 100% my bad. I wasn't really thinking in the moment. Like here's a picture of the chocolate molten cake on Google.
Sorry, listeners, for that clack on my very mechanical keyboard. I will try to edit around it as best I can.
Yeah, like I'm looking at like the Google images, and it's a lot of pictures of like the water and ribs. No one's taking a picture of this peanut butter pie. It's like I'm talking about it so much, people are gonna think I'm lying because there's no photographic evidence.
Motherfuckers that ate that shit and called it a wreck. They did like you did. They was like, nah, bro, I'm just eating it.
It was like I took the first bite, and I was like, my first thought was, this bitch is lying. They didn't make this. It's too good. Like, I had the rest of your food today, and it was nowhere near this good. But then, like, I asked, like, I straight up, like...
They had profiterole. Very cool. Profiteroles are just basically little cream puffs.
Yeah, that was it. That was the word I couldn't remember how to say.
As I check out their menu. Key lime pie, profiteroles, cheesecake, chocolate volcano cake. They don't call it lava. They call it volcano. And carrot cake. Now, I'm a carrot cake champ. I'm a fan. So, I'm all about that life.
Yeah, man, like, this place, like, the desserts are on par. Like, I could take or leave, like, the rest of their shit. But that chocolate peanut butter pie, holy crapola, was it fucking fantastic.
Man, I truly wish I could find it so I could delve into it. But, alas.
Dude, I'm straight up scrolling, I've been scrolling through Google Images right now for the last 3 minutes.
Hoping something pops.
And like I've seen a lot of their desserts. Like I saw like an ice cream cookie. Like here's the molten cake with the raspberry ice cream. But like I have yet to hit the peanut butter pie.
See if it's on yolk.
Anyway.
Yeah, like I've seen a couple more of the molten lava cake or whatever. But still no peanut butter pie.
You been back on your Yelp writing game? I mean, I guess not during this time of Rona.
Mm-mm. One day, maybe 2024.
Man, this is like really going to be like a myth.
How far is Cincinnati? 3 hours?
Oh yeah, like you could definitely get there in 3 hours, like especially with how I drive. Well, because like that part of Ohio too, like once you get outside the limits, all you have to do is watch the median for the cop cars, and you can do 90 easy. Like I was doing 95 at points. Just got to watch the median, like, and at night, like the cops when they're in the median, you can see their brake lights and shit because like they don't turn their lights off, so you just look for the lights in the median. And if they're not there, you're good to go. If they're there, you slow down. As soon as you're past them outside their line of sight, you just hit the gas pedal again.
So,
like, I was making like hella good time on the way back. Like, we only like we were back on the normal time because I stopped to take a 15-minute shit at that truck stop.
Paris is heading into a national lockdown.
Oh yeah, Europe is like shutting everything down again. Like, it's probably going to happen here too. Like once the election's over, like if Biden wins, I'm pretty sure we're going to go into like lockdown again.
Paris in particular, or France in particular, is right now is the current global leader in new infections by a lot per capita, of course, based on how many people live there. So that's why they kind of have to lock it back down. I know America seems like the world's asshole, but it seems like a lot of people all around the world got on some fuck a mask, and it is showing up to haunt us all right now. It's like, it's just bonk the lava cake. Fuck that lava cake. Just show me the damn pie. I'm scrolling through Yelp still looking for her. But
yeah, like
tons and tons of pictures of their ribs. So their ribs must actually either be something or.
Yeah, I mean it's what the place is known for.
Did anybody in your group get the ribs?
Yes. They did get the ribs. I didn't ask how they liked them or whatever, but well, like my one buddy got the full slab. He ate half of it, and then he took the other half home because he was planning on getting dessert. And then like the married couple, they got like a 3-course that like had like chicken and ribs. So it was like you can get like a half slab and then like some chicken thighs or something, and they just shared it. So like, I usually don't ask people what they think of their food. I don't know, like depending on who I'm with. Like some people, like I just don't have that kind of rapport food wise.
Yeah, that tickled me because we usually ask each other that while we eating and stuff.
But you and I have food rapport.
Yeah.
True.
And part of it too is I don't give a shit about ribs. I think they're messy and annoying. So like I wouldn't bother to ask because I just don't care.
Yeah, when I used to eat ribs, I never got sauce on them. Like when my mom used to make me ribs, like when we were little, I used to have her like put my ribs to the side. Don't put no sauce on my ribs. I like the dry rib.
I mean, like I hate like sloppy joes, and to me, like eating ribs is just like eating sloppy joes.
Yeah,
I'd rather just have a burger.
I don't like sloppy joes either. But my girlfriend does, and then she tried to get the boys to eat it. Like, yeah, we make some sloppy joes. And they was like, we don't want this. Make something else.
No, thank you, ma'am. You keep that. I don't want your loose meat sandwich.
Yeah, sloppy joes are just lazy to me.
I don't know if it's lazy. There's some effort to be made there, but it's also just
Yeah, sloppy joes are just way too sweet for me. Like if I'm gonna eat something that sweet, I might as well have a slice of pie.
Man, oh wait a minute, what's this? Let me click on it. Nah, that's I think that is just their actual that's their cheesecake. But whoever took a shitload of pictures, so if it would have been somebody, it would have been them. I was excited for a moment. Alas, people, it looks like I'm not gonna be able to find a photo of this here cheesecake.
I mean, forgive me, peanut butter chocolate for 20 years.
It's like a ghost cake, a ghost slice that my man Box had.
The original owner made that pie.
Trust your boy. He is a snob when it comes to peanut butter pie, peanut butter in general. So if he says that's the gospel, then it is indeed the gospel. And if you're in the Natty area and kicking it near the boathouse, if they happen to have it on the menu that night, I trust my mans. So he ain't gonna steer you wrong. But we rolling. And again, the goal is to be done before midnight. That's why we just had skittle scatter on over here to a little bit of truly what has become a personal favorite of mine. Am I the asshole? Each week, my partner sends me a stack of these. We go through them. If any of them are good, we read them. If not, we send Anthony in. He go get some. It all works out. It's a good time, and I have a good time at it. She was not feeling good then. I went and I checked on her. I was like, "Hey man, where my Am I the assholes at?" Because that's the kind of asshole I am. But as I sat here setting up shop, my phone buzzed, and lo and behold, here we are. So these is fresh. So if they have disappeared, they have disappeared within the time while we were talking. Let's go see what Reddit has given us this week. One indeed has been deleted already. That is wild. Am I the asshole for not telling my girlfriend I might lose physical attraction if she gets any more fat? Another one bites the bus. Am I the asshole for having nothing to say to my aging father when he offers an inheritance? What Scooby-Doo mystery is that shit? I'm closing that one. I'm not even putting that one on offer anymore. Am I the asshole for beating up a kid who continually hit a little kid to the point of crying and then attacked me? Oh, she picked some bangers. Am I the asshole for ignoring my mom while she was choking because I didn't realize she was choking? I'm not gonna lie to you, I want to read all three of those. Because that last one very much makes me chuckle. I didn't know that bitch was choking.
Alright, well, if you want to read them, better get started so we can make this midnight deadline.
Oh my god, let me see if I can find the original of this. This is a copy of the above post. Let's go. So at least we got that without me having to go hit the screenshots. I've been together with my girlfriend for a year now, and over that year, she has really put on some weight. The gaining of weight is also really affecting her self-image, confidence, and overall making her feel depressed at times. I've tried everything to make her follow a healthier diet and start exercising, but she keeps saying she would do it and then would come up with some excuse to quit after less than a week. After going through this multiple times, I made it clear to her that I might slowly lose physical attraction to her if she gained more weight. This is my final attempt after all my positive stimulations. I don't think that's the word that man wanted there, but that's the word he put. Stimulations seem to have failed. It seems to have worked as she now has been exercising and eating healthier for about a month. But even though she says it's fine, what I did, I can't help but to feel guilty about. That was it.
So no comments?
Oh, there's plenty of comments. I want to come to you all first.
The comments is what a real America is.
And see what y'all thought. Is this person an asshole for telling a person he's been dating for a year? So,
I don't really feel like he's an asshole. He might be a prick.
Fair.
Yeah, I feel like it was an asshole thing to do. But to call him a flat out asshole, maybe not. Like, maybe just keep that one to yourself, and then if it gets to a point where you feel not comfortable anymore, just break it off.
You're the asshole for being as shallow as a petri dish. You're the asshole. You know that she has self-image and confidence issues, and you made a comment that attacks her self-image and confidence? Of course you're the asshole. Sounds like a case of cruel to be kind. But if it were me, I know it would devastate me if my partner said that. Do you think you really were saying this for her benefit? Or so you can continue to find her attractive as a girlfriend? I'm leaning more toward you're the asshole.
I mean, like, I think it's a fine line in some regards, because, like, part of being in a relationship with someone is being attracted to them, for most people, I would say. Like, there are some people who aren't really into looks. Like, it is an intellectual thing, or there's something there. Like, and I understand that. But for, like, most people, there is a physical attraction that does come with being in a relationship with someone. And if you're getting to the point where you're not attracted to that person anymore, I think your only options are to either let them know that or fucking dip. So it's like, you're not going to just sit on it. Like, this is your fucking life. Like, you gotta just, if you're not attracted to the person anymore, you're just going to stay with them for the rest of your life and not tell them because you don't want to hurt their feelings? Or, like, you going to step up and, like, say something about it or leave? Like,
You're the asshole, but not the way you think. Saying stuff like that is somewhat of a form of mental abuse. One example is of a person on relationship advice who was constantly told they smell by their partner every day. Telling your partner basically, I will no longer be attracted to you if you gain weight, can have some horrible side effects on her self-esteem and your relationship with her. You should have sat down and told her your concerns about her health and had a real open discussion with her. You should still do that. It's good that you feel guilty, and it's good it was a one-time thing. Hopefully not repeated behavior, but you should tell her straightforward you love her, and you should still have that discussion, encouraging her to exercise by saying that is the terrible ideal that can put her down mentally, and if used often can really damage her mental health. I get it was a final attempt, but in the end, it's ultimately up to her to diet and exercise. Sure, a kid might constantly run down the stairs despite a parent constant warnings, but shoving that kid down the stairs isn't an appropriate last response. It's your girlfriend's choice, and you can encourage her all you like, but the diet shouldn't be about you, but about her own health.
I think that person said it very well.
It seemed to kind of go with what you had just said. That's kind of why I picked that one out. So there's a vibe, and yeah, like Ant said, not really an asshole, but definitely a prick. And again, a year into a relationship is not that long to me, and she'd be wise to maybe just like, what about this relationship is because what about life right now? What about because it could just be COVID for all we fucking know, is causing her to gain weight at a pace where it seems that it's obvious and bothersome at this point, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. It's fucking with her head, according to this man or this person. I don't know what they're, whatever. So, yeah, it's asshole-ish, but not in the way, like I said, just not in the way that you want to think. Like, he's not. I don't feel that this person was like just fat shaming his partner or anything like that. His partner was clearly coming to him saying, "Hey, man, I am not happy with how this is going either," and so yeah, a prick, but not an asshole.
Yeah, like, I don't feel like he's wrong for feeling how he's feeling, but his approach is poor.
Yeah, we'll go with that. This one. Am I the asshole for beating up a kid who continually hit a little kid to the point of crying and then attacked me? So again, we have to slide down to the copy of the original post because it has been removed. So by this, you might think, I am the asshole, and well, I think it partially. So there's this kid who, let's just call idiot. Idiot torturers. Let's just call idiot torturers our classmates. And I feel bad for them as he followed me to my new school. That happened 2 years ago as I was in year 4. Yes, my age is off-putting, but still I am considered hyper smart for my age. Okay? Not Sheldon Cooper smart, but divide that by 100. So this idiot keeps following me and he rips up work and shouts, he only gets worse. This is going on and is still going on for 6 years. It's too long without whooping somebody's ass. Okay, let's set the scene. I was at the Lever's barbecue, and if y'all hear this and y'all think this sounds like some kind of TV show or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me if this is like an episode of The Office that I don't know about. Okay. I was in the Lever's barbecue, and he kept harassing me and making inappropriate movements. Then he finally crossed the line. This, say, 5-year-old was minding his own business on a bouncy castle when an idiot out of nowhere started hitting him. So I told him to stop because the kid was crying. So I told him to stop, and he grabbed my wrist and started attacking me. I have some very strong friends, but they weren't there. So I was fine. This reads awful. So I was finally too pissed, and I unleashed fiery hell on him continually and shouted profanities. Luckily, we don't have a swear jar in my family, or I'd be paying them back for the rest of my life. Eventually, I neutralized them, and they spelled neutralize with an S instead of a Z, so I know this is a foreign one. Plus that year 4 shit, that's some English shit. But after my
British,
you know what? Maybe this is an English,
Canadian.
Maybe this is English as a second language kind of situation. After my anger, the past 6 years, I continued to attack him. I have little regret and took all the consequences with no resistance. But looking back, he's much worse than I made him out to be. Am I the butthole? One, that read terribly, but these people might be English as a second language kind of situation.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I had a hard time following what the hell you just read.
And like I said, that was verbatim, so no, he has only gotten worse, and it's only a matter of time before that's what the hell? Info, did you continue to beat him up over the years after the attack? Everything about this is awful. I'm leaving this behind. I was hoping so much more for that. Fuck that one. It's bullshit.
We're the assholes, so you even think we should read it.
Alright, finale. The last B. Am I the asshole for ignoring my mom while she was choking because I didn't realize she was choking? And just reading the fucking title makes me so happy. First, let's start with a bit of backstory. My mom has severe asthma and is also a heavy smoker with no intention of stopping. I could stop right there and be like, well then fuck her. As a result, she has pretty bad coughing fits and asthma attacks very regularly. I'm talking like several times a day. But it's usually worse, more noticeable in the evening when we're all just sitting quiet and watching TV or something. At this point, I've learned that it's better to leave her be when she's having a coughing fit because she knows how to deal with it and she just gets annoyed if I get in her way. Anyway, back to the incident. So tonight, me and my dad were sitting watching our favorite, with a U, so this is some foreign land shit, TV show, together. My mom isn't a fan of it, so she was sitting at this other side of the room doing her own thing. Suddenly, she starts coughing really badly. It's distressing, but no different than how she usually coughs. So I just assume she'll handle it herself and be fine. She eventually goes into the kitchen with her inhaler, just like she normally does during a bad coughing fit. And when the coughing subsides, she emerges from the kitchen and sarcastically says, "Thanks for checking on me while I was choking," and then goes outside for a cigarette before me or my dad can say anything to her. I genuinely just thought she was having a normal cough attack, not literally choking, and my dad said he thought the same thing. When she comes back in the house, I tried to explain to her that we didn't realize she was choking because it sounded exactly like the same as her normal coughing. But she just starts insulting us, saying we must be stupid because everyone can tell the difference, and it's clear we don't care about her and all this bullshit. So I try explaining to her that it's not that we don't care, we just didn't realize it was literally choking because she coughs like that pretty much constantly. But she's having none of it, continues insulting us, and says that we don't care. Now I feel really depressed for making her feel like that. But I'm also really anxious in case it happens again, and I can't tell whether she's choking or normal coughing. If it's just normal coughing and I check on her, she'll get mad at me for asking her questions during an asthma attack. If it's choking and I don't check on her, we'll have a repeat of tonight. Too long, didn't read. My mom regularly has bad coughing fits, but this time she choked and got mad at us because we couldn't tell the difference.
I'm going to go with not the asshole.
No, not the asshole. No.
I know that might be a bit of a hot take, but yeah, I don't feel like he's an asshole.
That's a girthy take.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Imagine complaining about two people not helping you with your coughing fit choking when she's a heavy smoker, meaning she brings this on herself to a degree and gets pissy when people try to help her in the first place. How logical of your mother. Considering the fact that she always deals with this on her own and it happens multiple times per day, of course you would ignore it. She wants you to ignore it most of the time. So you listened. It's difficult to tell the difference between severe coughing fits and choking. They're basically the same fucking thing. Maybe if she didn't have so many smokes, this wouldn't be happening. I know it's hard to stop, but really? She can't really complain as she's making her condition worse. This is coming from a recovering cocaine addict.
I know a couple of those.
How did you expect that to come? Not the asshole. You weren't sure if your mom was choking because she has these coughing attacks all the time. Overall, though, your mom was not severely choking, because if someone is severely choking, then they would not be able to walk into another room or even make a sound such as coughing. Thank you, Dr. Infernal Wolf 4. Meaning there are 3 Infernal Wolves before this man. person. Can't make assumptions. Not the asshole. If she was choking, she would have come in heaving. I'm going to assume he meant waving. Yes, the W is next to the E on the keyboard. Her hands at you. She sounds like she's always the victim. Jesus. Are you okay?
I'm not choking.
Okay, I had to make sure. You know what I'm saying? And
I just had juicy mouth.
And now I have to leave that cough in the podcast when normally I would edit it out because this joke works. And again, I too have had the spit just kind of go bam in the back of the throat. So
even if you were choking right now, I don't know what we would do to save you.
You're right. 911, somebody in this town is choking. I can give you the address. It's about all I got. That was a healthy.
Yeah, like I could DM his girlfriend on IG, but I don't know if she'd go read it in time.
She wouldn't. She'd probably sleep.
Oh my God. Well, that was a healthy dose of Am I the Asshole? 2 of which made me very happy. 1 of which was just a little piss poorly written, and there's a reason that it had been deleted. Oh, man. That title, Am I the Asshole? Because I ain't know she was choking. Oh, it makes me so happy. It just touches my heart. Oh, goodness gracious. We do this every week, people. Truly we do. You may not have been getting the shows as regularly as you should as of late, but that's because, again, I was out of town last week and getting the show up was that proved to be difficult. But we'll get back on the roll here, and we're good. We got plenty of shows in the can, so you'll have plenty of whatever. Hope by the time you hear this episode, we have elected a new leader in this country. But if not, maybe you'll be all right still, because whatever, man. We'll figure it out one way or the other, bro. That's just how it has to go down. But as always, please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible, including right now. You know what I'm saying? I like to remind people we in these Amazon streets, because that's a thing that happened. Amazon decided I like podcasts, so why not? You know what I'm saying? Show them some love. Give us a subscription. Give us a subscribe, and tap the bell over on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Get down with that. Twitch is popping right now. Vanessa wants to start streaming more of Final Fantasy this weekend, so that might be going down out in these Twitch streets. Also, I'm definitely getting. By the time you hear this, I should have my new Xbox. So I might have to stream a little of that Series X action for you. You know what I'm saying? Get you good. You know what I'm saying? We're at SKiM Pod, SKiM over on Twitter. If you want to give us a follow over there, that'd be great. Also, we're Stay Scratching Milk on Instagram, and that's pretty tasty too. Show, you know what I'm saying? We out there. I just never think to hustle the Instagram. Should I? I don't know. Anyway. And if you want to support the show financially and got a few bucks to toss our way, you can get down with us over on Patreon. Also, Stay Scratching Milk over there. Members at the $5 and above tier get extra content each month, including early access to new shows. When will we be able to make new shows during these horrible times? I don't know. But 2021 is wildly close at this point. Let's hope for a cure or I don't know. I just like to be able to go out in the world and go search out peanut butter pies far and wide and enjoy them all over this great world. Except peanut butter really doesn't get down as well as it does here in other countries. People seem to hate peanut butter in a lot of other countries around the world. I mean, they fucking up, but still. Maybe if we put it in pie form, they'd be more apt to accept it or try it. Right? Right. If you head over to tpublic.com/user/Sage Crunchy Milk, all one word. We also have plenty of merch options available for you. I'm wearing a Sage Crunchy Milk hoodie right now and was just thinking I should order a fresh one for this soon to be winter. Switching my color situation. I was thinking about yellow, but I don't know how the yellow one would look. Box just discovered that there's a piece of cereal in that bowl that's shaped like the state of Ohio while he and I were down south last week before last, whenever the fuck that was. And
that is a factual statement.
I chuckle because I know that to be a bit of input that Anthony made when I was getting the having this logo created. And it was like, you got to get one of them pieces of cereal to be shaped like the state of Ohio. And the gentleman who made it, Chris Van Artsdale, who does the Doughboys art, I'd like to put that out to you, that the same guy who does the Doughboys art did our art. Did just that for me and snuck a piece of Ohio into the cereal. It is right above the Y in stays. If you don't know, now you know. So if you are the phone call making type, give us a call, 216-302-8763. That's 216-302-8-POD. We'd certainly love to hear from you. Healing thoughts out to my homegirl, Nick Jews. If you know Nick Jew and are down with her, on her Instagram, she was discussing her recent health issues, and we hope she heals up nicely and is already on the mend by the time this episode comes out and is safe back at home and all is well. You know what I'm saying? So, but shouts out to you, Nick. You know I love your homegirl, so it's all to the good. Also, like I said, again, shouts out to the SKiM Podfather in his absence. Again, send my man some love because he needs it too right now.
Get well soon, Nick, and Gabe, come on back and fall asleep with us.
That's my man Tatum 216. Just a delight of a human being. Truly, I say that and I mean that. Motherfuckers, you just don't know, but I know. And
thank you.
Some might not like him, but we do.
Yes.
Some might not like him, and he got some girlfriends that would take his ex-girlfriends who would rather him cook for them and not have to deal with him. But I love him, and I love his cooking, and there you go. So that's how that works out. That's Lunchbox 2099, the speed demon, but he didn't get pulled over once. I gotta say, he doing it right.
Yeah, you live and you learn. You get pulled over a couple times, and you level up.
You tweak your settings, you figure out what you got to do, and you keep motherfucking moving. Normally, I use Waze just because Waze always be like popo in the area, and I didn't even bother with it on this trip. We used straight up Google Maps and did just fine. So I'm just saying, it goes down.
I thought you like to use Waze because you get to collect points and stuff.
I don't know. Can you collect points in Waze? Nigga, I didn't know that. I truly use Waze just because it says police in this area. And I'm like, oh, thanks for that heads up. And I know to slow my roll and head on the swivel. That is why I love Waze.
And you can use a Batman voice.
I hated the Batman voice. Kevin Conroy sounds so old on it now. And I worry about him.
You did say that.
And I'm like, oh, Kevin Conroy.
Take a left.
But my car... The shape of the car in Waze is still the Batmobile, and I dig that. So, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with that. I am the Internet's Taylor713. You have just been Podcast 2, and I am certain you loved it. Peace.
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.